This is the kind of stuff that infuriates black people, because you can clearly see at the beginning of that video that there is a white officer walking up to that car pointing a gun. His body camera footage captures the black officer pulling Tyree out of the car. That is the beginning. That is the initial traffic stop. That is the first traffic stop. Because the second stop, he's on foot running away from the police officers. So there would be no car to snatch him up out of. So when you see that white officer, you see his arms and hands clear as day, walking up to the car pointing a gun. And you see the black officer then snatch the boy out of the car. And then you see another white officer holding his foot as they're carrying him. And then another white officer got his hand on his shoulder. Now, what's the significance of this? Because we know the black officers were the ones supposedly that did the majority of the beating. I understand that. But what I'm trying to get at, the reason why those white officers need to be brought into play is because they had an obligation to de-escalate. And when that white officer was walking up to that car and he saw that black cop snatch that boy up out the car the way he did nothing to help de-escalate the situation. He did nothing to stop what was going on prior to that boy getting up and running. See, because before he got up and ran, he was already being beaten and kicked and tased without being told why he was being pulled over, without being told anything, because they walked up to the car. They didn't ask him for his license. They didn't ask him for his registration. They walked up to the car, opened the door, and snatched him up out the car. And there were two white officers there when that happened. So my thing is, just like in the George Floyd murder, that one officer was the one who technically kneeled on him and killed him. But the other three officers were also charged with depraved indifference for the simple fact that they stood around and didn't do nothing. So had those officers fulfilled their duty to intervene and stop the excessive force before the boy got up and ran, he would still be alive. That's why they need to be called to justice, just like the other five, and face the same charges. They were complicit in the crime.
Stressing folks so they're not put in a position that they feel they need to use lethal force, and instead they're being given implicit bias training, diversity training, complete waste of money.